All right, good evening, citizens. I'm back again. I've had a lot of requests for what are the next 10 programs that Doge are going to cut. So here they are in order. The next program, the National Pillow Fluffing Initiative, at $1.5 million a year, taxpayers are paying to ensure your hotel pillows were at maximum fluffiness. So effectively, immediately, you're going to have to fluff your own pillows. The next program number 2, the Bureau of Elevator Music Standards. We were spending $2.1 million annually to approve soothing tunes for elevators. So from now on, the playlist is your problem and Pandora's problem. Program number 3, let's see, this is the Federal Bureau of Traffic Cone Counting. And believe it or not, we spent $1.3 million per year to ensure every cone is accounted for. And Doge has officially removed those cones. You're welcome. Okay, program number 4, the Office of Seasonal Pumpkin Oversight. We are dumping $800,000 per year into tracking pumpkin spice trends. So goodbye PSL police. You're just going to have to figure that out on your own. The National Chair Spinning Safety Council, $400,000 a year. The Federal Kazoo Orchestra grant. That was a $2 million annual grant for kazoo lovers, and now they're just going to have to toot their horns on their own. Program 7, the American Cloud Watching Fund at $1.1 million. Program 8, the Department of Leftover Labeling. We were spending $600K a year there. Don't ask me what the hell that is all about. Program number 9, the Bureau of Ice Cube Uniformity. We needed to make sure that we were spending $2.5 million to ensure that your ice cubes were nice and uniform. We all know how people get picky about their ice cubes. And last but not least, the National Velcro Noise Study, $1.7 million annually to test which Velcro noise is the most satisfying. So we can do away with that. And with that, that's going to bring an additional $14 million in savings on top of the other $20 million that I talked about in a video earlier today. If you didn't get a chance to see it, go to my profile and check it out. And I will update you once again, maybe sometime next week when I've got the next round of Doge cuts. Well, good morning, fellow taxpayers. I'm back with the next 10 items that the Doge, and that's the Department of Government Efficiency, is getting ready to cut, and it's going to give us more savings, and we're going to have to scratch our heads a little bit over these next 10 because these are absolutely ridiculous. All right, so number 1, the National Bubble Wrap Stress Relief Study. We were wasting $1.4 million annually to study whether popping bubble wrap would actually reduce stress. It turns out that it does, but we don't need to spend any money on that. You can do that yourself. All right, program number 2, the Bureau of Mailbox Feng Shui. I don't even know what the hell that is, but it was costing us $900,000 a year. All right, program number 3, that is going to be the Federal Balloon Animal Training Academy, costing us $2.3 million annually, and taxpayers have been funding how to teach clowns to fold balloons into animals for kids' birthday parties. All right, now program number 4 is the National Pretzel Untwisting Initiative. It's $600,000 per year, dedicated to untwisting pretzels for research purposes. Doge is doing away with that. You're welcome. We don't need that anymore. Program number 5, the Department of Sock Pairing. We're wasting $1.8 million annually to find those missing socks. Sorry, everybody, you're on your own. You're going to have to find your own socks without any government guidance. Number 6, the Federal High Five Coordination Bureau, $1.2 million a year, ensuring that we're high-fiving correctly. That's got to go. That's going to save us some cash. Let's see, number 7, the National Ice Cream Cone Structural Integrity Lab. We have been spending $700,000 a year to find out why ice cream cones leak, and that's just a huge waste of money. Program number 8, the Office of Puddle Depth Measurement. That was costing us $3 million a year to see how much rainwater was being wasted and collected in things like potholes and other puddles. So we're done with that one. And let's see, program number 9, the Bureau of Alarm Clock Testing, $1.5 million a year to ensure alarms are just annoying enough that you get out of bed, so you're getting that correct, noise that just drives you crazy. We don't need that anymore. That's saving us, like I said, $1.5 million. And finally, number 10, that's the Federal Glitter Cleanup Task Force. And at $2 million annually, we've been funding the impossible because as we all know, at the end of the year when we take down the Christmas tree and all the decorations, there's just glitter everywhere, and it takes a couple months to vacuum it up. So in total, that's going to save us an additional $16.4 million of government waste. And keep going, Doge. I'll bring you the next update as soon as I have the next 10. Good morning, fellow taxpayers and citizens. I have got today's Daily Doge update for you. And this time, Doge has Congress squarely in its sights. Their fat benefit packages could be on the chopping block. So let's look at the top 10 things that could be going away for Congress. So benefit number 1, no more free parking at Capitol Hill. Now this has Chuck Schumer all up in arms because he is going to have to circle the lot like a normal person and claims this is a human rights violation. Benefit number 2 is the end of the franking privilege, which means no more free mail for Congress. And Elizabeth Warren is upset she's going to have to pay for her own angry letters to Wall Street from here on out. Now benefit number 3 is goodbye to government health perks, access to the federal employees health benefits program. That's going to be gone if this gets passed, and they're going to have to sign up for high cost insurance just like the rest of us. Bernie Sanders claims the system is rigged because he will now have to pay for his own health insurance, and he just doesn't like that. Benefit number 4, no more $3,000 living expense deductions. Now Nancy Pelosi is extremely upset about this. She wants to know how she's supposed to afford her luxurious DC mansion on a congressional salary, and of course she is now calling for new impeachment hearings against Donald Trump. Benefit number 5, the Office of Furniture Allowance is gone. This has got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, otherwise known as AOC, upset. She doesn't know why she's going to have to assemble her own furniture, and this is why we need socialism. All right, benefit number 6, pension cuts. No more cushy retirement plans for members of Congress moving forward if this can get taken care of. Joe Biden is upset because he thinks he's actually going to have to pay for his own retirement now. Well, he's not going to have to because we all know they got rich. But welcome to the 401k life corn pop. And on benefit number 7, no more free military medical care. This has got John Fetterman all pissed off. He thinks it's an attack on democracy because he can't walk onto a military base and get free medical care. Now, benefit number 8 is access to the office of the attending physician. If this is passed, that will be gone as well. And Kamala Harris, she had a response to this, but it was such a word salad that I could not repeat it here because I don't want my IQ to go down for the next 30 minutes. Benefit number 9, no more taxpayer-funded travel. This has got Gavin Newsom extremely pissed off, the governor of California. He wants to know why he's expected to fly commercial because he doesn't look like a Spirit Airlines passenger. Oh well. And benefit number 10, the end of reserved airport parking. So no more reserved parking at the airport for members of Congress. This has got Mitch McConnell pissed because he's going to have to take the airport shuttle like some kind of peasant, and he claims it's an outrage. So with these proposed cuts, Doge is going to be saving the taxpayers hopefully millions of more dollars. Stay tuned. I'll come at you with another update tomorrow about more ridiculous government spending. Hello again, fellow taxpayers and citizens. All right, everyone, I need you to brace yourselves on this one because what I'm about to share right now, it's not parody. These are real, honest-to-goodness programs that your tax dollars have actually paid for. And we can thank Senator Rand Paul for digging these up. They're part of his annual Festivus report. And let's just say the truth is almost stranger than fiction. All right, let's start with number 1. We're spending $10 billion on empty federal buildings. I guess maintaining and furnishing buildings that are empty is important because ghosts, they need offices too. Number 2, $12 million for a Las Vegas pickleball complex because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas except for the bill, which comes straight to you and me. All right, number 3, $4.8 million on Ukrainian influencers. And I guess this is influencing me to wonder, why are we paying for this? Now, number 4, $10,000 for an ice skating drag queen show. And apparently the only thing skimming the ice faster than those skates is Congress with your tax dollars. All right, number 5, we're spending $2.24 million to study COVID-19 in cats. Now, curiosity just didn't kill the cat, it also emptied our pocketbooks. Number 6, $419,470 to study cocaine use in rats. Now, what they discovered was that lonely rats, they'll turn to cocaine, and I guess next up in this study are going to be taxpayers who need a drink after listening to all this. Number 7, $3 million for girl-centered climate action in Brazil. That's a mouthful. So I guess we need to empower Brazilian girls to fight climate change, one U.S. tax dollar at a time. And number 8, $720,479 so we can ensure ducks have premium real estate because that went to fund duck wetland conservation in Mexico. Number 9, we did spend $32,596 on breakdancing, but I don't think we need to fund any breakdancing. We can all just watch Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo for free and save ourselves some money. Lastly, number 10, $2.1 million for Paraguayan border security, because why secure our own borders when we can secure Paraguay's? Now, yes, folks, these are real. These actually did happen and were paid for, and they did cost the U.S. taxpayers $10,025,322,545. So stay tuned as I continue to bring you more parody and more truth through my videos. Hello again, fellow taxpayers and citizens. This is your daily Doge update, and I want you to understand that the Department of Government Efficiency is hard at work saving you money one cut at a time. So let's start with today's top 10. Number 1, the Federal Bureau of Advanced Stapler Engineering. And at $1.7 million annually, their mission was to create the ultimate stapler that never jams. Elon had his engineering team step in. They've created a brand new stapler that will never jam, and that department has been eliminated. All right, number 2, the National Institute for Memo Formatting Standards. That's $1.2 million a year we would spend to develop an official government memo format. Doge has done away with that funding as well. We'll just keep it simple and save some millions. All right, number 3, the Bureau of Desk Plant Placement Optimization. We're spending $800,000 annually to study whether a fern or a ficus improves workplace morale. Gone. You're welcome. Employees can now pick their own plants and make their cubicles the way they want them. All right, number 4, the Commission on Conference Room Chair Synchronization. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but it was $1.5 million a year to ensure every chair in the meeting rooms across federal government all swiveled at the same rate. The funding has just been deleted by Doge. We don't need that anymore. Number 5, the National Punctuation Integrity Project. That's $2 million a year to enforce standardized comma usage across all internal documents. Elon says just download a piece of software. It'll take care of your punctuations for you. That is gone as well. More useless spending down the drain. All right, number 6, the federal grant for binder clip durability testing, $900,000 a year to determine how many papers a single clip can securely hold. That funding has been clipped for good. Hope you caught my reference to The Sopranos there. Number 7, the Office of Highlighter Color Coordination, $1.3 million annually to ensure uniform highlighter color codes in all federal agencies. Doge says you can choose your own colors. That one is gone as well. All right, number 8, the Research Initiative on Pencil Sharpening Efficiency. I don't even know what the hell that's all about, but it's gone, saving us $2.4 million. Number 9, the Strategic Paperweight Development Program, $1.6 million a year to design paperweights with the optimal weight to surface distribution ratio. Whoever came up with that program just needs to be fired, along with the funding, which has been cut. All right, number 10, the Office of Redundant Documentation Reduction. We were spending $3 million a year to catalog and reduce redundancy in documents by doing what? Creating more documents. Elon says this is one redundancy that is no more. So please stay tuned for tomorrow's list. I'll have another 10 satirical examples of government waste. Keep going, Doge. Keep going, Elon. Save the American taxpayer some more money. Hello, fellow citizens and taxpayers. Today's Doge report comes to you courtesy of Senator Rand Paul's annual Festivus report. Now, I want you to understand this video is not satire. I repeat, this is not a joke. These are actual items that we as taxpayers have already obligated ourselves for because that money is spent, okay? And this is just a small fraction of those items that are there. And if you want to fact check me, just Google 2024 Rand Paul Festivus report, and you can find these for yourself as well. So I'm going to go through these rather quickly. Please watch until the end because number 25, it's just stupid. All right, number 1, we've been spending $10 billion a year on maintaining empty federal office buildings. Number 2, we gave the city of Las Vegas a $12 million grant to build a pickleball complex. Number 3, the State Department spent $330,000 censoring conservative media. Number 4, Health and Human Services gave $2 million for a study to see how kids reacted to food advertisements on Facebook. Number 5, $8 million in stolen COVID relief funds was used by a Florida man to buy an island, a private island. Number 6, cocaine and lonely rats. The National Institutes of Health spent $419,470 to see if lonely rats were more likely to use cocaine than social rats. Newsflash, the lonely rats used more drugs than the social rats. Number 7, $15.5 billion was spent by the Department of Energy trying to convince us to buy electric cars we don't want. Number 8, $4.8 million for Ukrainian influencers. Don't know what the hell we're doing that for. Number 9, $365,000 for a circus. Columbus, the National Endowment for the Arts spent $365,000 promoting circuses in public parks. All right, number 10, $3 million for girl-centered climate action in Brazil. The government spent $3 million trying to promote climate activism by women in Brazil, or girls in Brazil. How stupid can we be? All right, $873,000 to fund films in the country of Jordan. Why would we do such a thing? All right, we're about halfway done. Number 12, $345,000 to fight terrorism with soccer. I guess we're going to teach terrorists to play soccer instead of being terrorists. That's just a bad idea and a huge waste of money. Number 13, we gave $700 million to a failed trucking company. You know, those funds should have went to disaster relief for those impacted by the hurricanes and the wildfires this year. Instead, that money was given to a trucking company that failed, and it's never to be returned. Number 14, $288,000 for diversity in bird watching. The National Science Foundation spent $288,563 to try and make bird watching groups more diverse. Well, what are we going to do next? Equity and stamp collecting? Now, number 15 is absolutely ridiculous, $892 billion in interest payments on our national debt. That's just interest payments. We're not paying anything off. We've all of a sudden became the uncle with 27 maxed out credit cards and bad credit. Number 16, we gave $500,000 to Ethiopia so they could expand their social media presence. Number 17, $7 million for magic-related projects. $7 million was spent on various magic-related projects, including a podcast about American magical belief. So what are we going to do next? Are we going to fund Hogwarts as well? Number 18, we spent $2.1 million for border security in the country of Paraguay. Meanwhile, we can't secure our own border. Number 19, $385,000 was spent for a giant 16-foot pigeon statue in New York City. I cannot imagine why somebody would want to put up a statue of a pigeon. We all know what pigeons do. They make a mess, and now we're putting up statues to those birds who make messes. What a huge waste of money. We also spent $20 million for fertilizer research abroad, meaning we did fertilizer research in Pakistan, Vietnam, Colombia, and Brazil. How about we keep that money for our American farmers? All right, number 21, we did spend $2.2 million on COVID experiments on cats. Number 22, we spent $123,000 to teach viral videos in the country of Kyrgyzstan. I think I got that right. $123,066 spent teaching Kyrgyzstan kids how to make viral videos. I'm sure that's exactly what their country needs, are a bunch of kids running around staring at their smartphones. All right, here's number 23, $1.5 million to spin kittens for science. $1.5 million was spent on spinning kittens to study motion sickness. Please make me understand how there is any scientific value to that at all. What a huge waste of money. Number 24, $720,479 for Mexican duck conservation. Meanwhile, our American ducks, they didn't get a dime. All right, number 25, the last one, $20 million for Sesame Street in Iraq. U.S. aid spent $20 million on a Sesame Street reboot in Iraq. Now, these things that I've just listed off here are a fraction of the $1 trillion in wasted money last year alone. And as I said, this is not satire. So if you want to go ahead and see if these are real and fact check me, feel free. Just go ahead and Google Rand Paul Festivus Report 2024, and you can dive into this as much as you want and see how bad your government has been wasting your money. So thanks for following. We hope Doge does a great job of getting rid of this wasteful spending so we as taxpayers can reduce what we have to pay to the federal government. We can take care of ourselves and our family. Hello, fellow citizens and taxpayers. Thanks for stopping to watch today's daily Doge update. Now, by now, you've probably heard of DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency, which was put into place by President Donald Trump and being headed up by the genius Elon Musk. And its mission is to cut $2 trillion, that's trillion with a T, mind you, in government waste before the economy collapses in under its own weight. Right now, we have over 1,200 programs running on autopilot, draining over $500 billion of tax money without any oversight whatsoever. So let's talk about some of the biggest offenders. Some of these haven't been reauthorized in years or even decades. We got the Foreign Relations Authorization Act of 2003 for $38 billion, the 21st Century Cures Act, $48 billion, the Quality Housing and Work Responsibility Act of 1998, oh my God, how old is that thing? $37 billion, the NASA Transition Authorization Act of 2017 for $25 billion. I thought NASA went away with Elon Musk and all his rockets. We don't need that anymore. The Energy Policy Act of 2005 for $7 billion, and the Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act of 2014, which is costing us $9 billion. Now, if we add all these programs up, it comes to a total of $164 billion. And if we combine that with the $175 billion we've sent to Ukraine since 2022, that ends up being a mind-blowing $339 billion of our money being flushed down the drain. And here's where it gets even worse. No one is even tracking where this money actually goes because it's never been reauthorized. The funding keeps going into these programs, but they've never been officially reauthorized by Congress, which means they're spending billions with zero congressional oversight. No one's checking to see if they're effective. The government just keeps blindly writing checks and they have no idea where the money's going. That means your tax dollars could be going to fund foreign governments, corporate subsidies, money laundering, pointless studies with no accountability, and you wouldn't even know it because nobody knows where that money goes. So if we ran a business like that, they would shut us down for fraud, they would bury us under the jail, and that would be game over for us. But the US government just keeps writing checks to these programs blindly, not having any idea where the money goes, and until we put a stop to it, they're going to continue to put us in debt. Now, DOGE has been enacted to take care of this, but the real question is, will Congress... Hello, fellow taxpayers and citizens. It is time for your daily DOGE update, and today we're going to dive into something that's going to make your head spin a little bit, and it's called unauthorized government spending. Now, what is unauthorized government spending, you ask? Great question. Unauthorized spending happens when government programs keep receiving funding long after their official approval has expired. So I want you to think of it like a streaming subscription you forgot to cancel, but instead of $14.95 a month, this one's going to cost you billions of dollars a year. So what we're going to look at is the Foreign Relations Authorization Act of 2003 as our example. Now, this bill was meant to fund the State Department for 1 year, but here's the kicker. Today, more than 2 decades later, it's still costing taxpayers around $38 billion a year annually without updated congressional approval or oversight. That's right, this program has not been reauthorized in over 2 decades, which means it has not faced proper congressional scrutiny. Now, if these programs were forced to be reauthorized every year, they would face congressional scrutiny, they would have to open up their books and justify what they've been spending taxpayer dollars on. The problem with that is we might catch billions in wasteful spending, and you have to wonder, what have these unelected bureaucrats been doing with all this money without somebody minding the bank? That's a pretty scary thought. So enter Elon Musk and the team at DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. It's their mission to shine a light on outdated, unauthorized expenditures and make sure your hard-earned dollars are spent where they're truly needed. DOGE is making Washington sweat over their checkbook for a change, and you know what? It's about time they felt the pressure regular taxpayers like you and I feel every time we look at our bank balance. It's your money, and DOGE is working hard to make sure. Hello, fellow citizens and taxpayers. I've got some breaking DOGE news you don't want to miss. Now, would it surprise you to believe that the U.S. Treasury has been auto-paying everybody? And yes, even known terrorist groups. You can't make this stuff up. Now, there was a post on X by Robbie Starbuck, shout out to Robbie, that the highest-ranking Treasury official, David A. LeBrick, is resigning rather than complying with the request by the DOGE team for access to audit where they've been spending trillions of American tax dollars every year. Now, why would a career bureaucrat fear an audit by Elon Musk and his team? They're afraid we're going to see where the money's been going. Now, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE as we like to call it, they discovered that the Treasury payment approval officers were instructed to approve all payments, no questions asked, and they've literally never denied a payment in their entire careers. And that's what Elon Musk posted on his X account. Now, can you imagine just setting your bank account on auto pay and every email scam that comes through asking for money just automatically gets paid? Well, that's basically what our Treasury has been doing. Anybody that requests money, they just get it. They're not looking into who these people are, whether they're for our country or against our country. They're just paying out your hard-earned money. So not only are we auto-paying fraudulent and terrorist payment claims, the person who's in charge of all this, when they're confronted, they just up and quit. Now, this isn't just a minor mistake. We're talking about trillions of taxpayer dollars a year flowing out with zero oversight, potentially funding activities against our own interest as Americans. So it's 2025, folks. Maybe we stop auto-paying terrorists. We're going to let DOGE and his team go through and completely set this system straight so we stop sending our money to places